I'm here with Nolan, the Director of Research at CoinDesk at Consensus 2019, and I'm inviting you to join us as we have a conversation about what it's been like the last few days. Thanks for meeting with me.
Hey, my pleasure. Happy to always talk about the event that takes so much work to put on.
I can only imagine what it's like, but why don't we take a walk so people can kind of see what you and your team have put on here for Consensus. It's been amazing being here for me the last few days. I know 4,600 people have come to New York for Blockchain Week. And of course,
to this event. 4,600 to this event.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, how many to Blockchain Week? I mean, we're just guessing, but if it's 4,600 here, a lot of people didn't come here. So,
right.
We're in the 6 to 7s by then.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, that's a big deal. Now, as the Director of Research, what's a win for you? Like, what makes you end today's conference and you say, mission accomplished, I'm really, really glad that we did that thing?
So I would say that if the event is able to reflect where the industry is at this time and place, May 15th, 2019, if the event is able to just do that, I think it's successful.
Yes.
But it is a complicated thing. The industry itself is growing so quickly and moving so fast that it's always a challenge to capture the subjects that are relevant today,
right.
The people that are pushing the envelope today, because it's such a big revolution and change that people contributed so much in 2015 and 2016, and then the industry changes, and some people leave for a bit and come back, and other people push new things, and it goes in that direction. So as long as we were accurately capturing the people that are pushing the narratives, that are pushing the industry, and are able to reflect that, then I think it's a good thing. If people leave this conference with a few ideas about where things are headed next year and the year after, I mean, long term, we've been successful.
Okay. And what is it for you that's been most encouraging or delightful? What's exceeded your expectation this year so far in the last 2.5 days for this event? So
I think that, last year's event was really on the sort of cusp of the big, I think in the history books when people talk about the bubble of 2017, I think it really will be from Consensus, not the calendar year 2017, but it'll be from Consensus 2017 to Consensus 2018.
Right, that was that 12-month window.
Yeah, and Consensus 2018 really was the end of that crazy era where early stage finance had really been changed. We all knew it had been changed.
Right.
We had found this tool. I think what happened last year is people thought that was the end of the story. It's in fact just a small little thing that was done.
Yeah.
And now what we've seen is, when people talk about democratizing investment in finance, it's actually not just a thing where you push a button and it's democratized. Part of democratizing it is that all these people now have access to investing. All these people are actively investing and having fun doing it, and also learning.
And most for the first time.
Yeah, so the sophistication of people, like, you're not going to be able to just pump some, crazy idea any longer, because people lost money, and that's kind of a good thing in a way, because people realized the tool is there, it should be used, it's a great tool to use, but now let's use it efficiently. Let's have the buyers of this thing become more sophisticated and have to learn lessons about investing, because democratizing investing doesn't mean everybody wins.
No, that's absolutely not.
You learn how to do it.
That's right.
And more people are learning how to do it, so we're really excited about that.
Now, if...
And even down to that, that whole early stage finance thing is still just one part. There's so much more than just raising money.
Well, of course, solving supply chain management, proving that art is what it is, the impact on games, the impact on governments, it goes on and on in terms of what's going to happen due to the distributed ledger technology, blockchain, crypto, all things in this industry.
And to see this stuff, so pervasive and growing here and there, and look, we're also in the world of cryptography, and cryptography does develop slower than video games.
Absolutely.
It's either bulletproof or not. So, seeing how people are really understanding that more.
Right.
But the challenges of scaling this technology are not the same challenges of scaling Nintendo or the iPhone, or it's not quite the same thing.
No.
So far so good. People are understanding the space a lot more. They're understanding what the technology can do, and the growth curve of it a little better.
Yeah, I had people tell me on day 3, this place will be empty, there won't be a lot of people here. What's it like to walk through one of your expo halls, because you have multiple, and to see this much life? on a Wednesday afternoon. Because I mean, I didn't actually expect this to have so much life energy and all the things that we're seeing right now.
I would say that that's really a testament to the industry itself. I mean, this is, there is such a heartfelt following. If you go to any other, sometimes I go to conferences that aren't crypto conferences, and we sort of do like a 101 on crypto. And you can see that most people are there because it's their job. They were sent there. What you have, and then, so like a normal conference, you see that spirit being depleted at the end because, for God's sakes,
right.
This has been a tough couple of days at work. Here, you've got people who are almost religious about making this thing work.
Yes.
And so it's much easier to motivate people like that to be involved and to enjoy the content and the experience and meeting all these like-minded people.
Yeah.
So this, because of that spirit, the whole event takes on a bit more of a festival-like atmosphere. So as long as people keep meeting and coming, they'll keep showing up.
It's awesome.
We could probably add a day tomorrow and they'd show up again.
And they still keep coming. Now, one of the things that was really a courageous move on your team's part was the fact that you said, hey, let's do a digital swag bag this year.
I wouldn't say courageous.
You don't think so?
I would say that,
I mean, nobody's done it.
Sure.
You allowed Jody Rich and his team at NFT.cred to create something that hadn't really been done at a conference for 5,000 people. I think it's kind of a bold move.
So I'd say
I think it worked out well. Over 1,000 people, redeemed their tokens. So, but talk to me a bit about that.
So I'd say CoinDesk is in a weird position in that we created an event about an industry that was so immature that we weren't actually able to put the technology in people's hands. Some things are better. Show, don't tell. They say that in writing a lot. Show, don't tell.
Absolutely.
And we can't. If we would do another event where we just talked about NFTs, people get it. They get it. It's a baseball card. It's a whatever. We all understand. Collect stuff. We don't need to talk about it that much.
Right.
But if you don't put this stuff in people's hands, we have to quit it from being so abstract. And when we look at a lot of these other events in this space, they've been quite quick at adopting some of the tech to the experience of the event.
Right.
And in our mind, so you say it's courageous, a little bit of fear too, like if we don't do this and someone else does it and starts integrating the tech into the experience,
good point.
You're actually going to lose in the long run.
That's a good point.
So I wouldn't say courageous, I would say slightly motivated by fear.
Okay.
If you don't have paranoia that someone is going to beat you, then you're going to get beaten.
I mean, I would say we can just stay right here. I would say, for me, and this is off the topic a little bit, but courage is just the response to fear.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah.
Because we all face fear and anxiety. And then either we back away from it and of insecurity, or we say, you know what, I'm just going to face it.
It's a race against your own insecurity.
That's true.
And so that's kind of what had us, putting this thing together. And frankly, when we see it from an event point of view, we see this as something that can go into mainstream events, and you wouldn't even, when people always talk about, well, we won't even know you're using crypto.
Right.
Well, NFTs are one of those things where you don't actually have to know. Like, who cares? It's a card, and now we know it's scarce, and then just do the thing you did when you had your normal Pokemon, or your baseball card, or so in our mind, we could see, one of the things I think that we did that was really interesting is driving traffic to these booths by saying, okay, you have a physical item.
Yes.
You don't want to anonymously give it in a bag and maybe they'll, come see you later. Now
they have to come to your booth. They have to redeem it for the t-shirt or the wallet or the gold or whatever it is that they're offering to you.
So way beyond our own event, we think this is a real use case for the technology, for events themselves. We could do events that have nothing to do with crypto and they can integrate this technology today. I think it's ready for prime time today at events. We are indeed here, and we've learned about the moving parts, but so far so good.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the sponsors will be happy with it. From our end, the only thing that was different is that, and this was like an operational thing, I usually do content. I usually don't know what's going on by design. I don't know anything that's going on around here, so that I can make the right decisions for content. Not to be influenced by who sponsor what. But this is a weird thing where sponsorship is now even part of content.
It is.
We saw the NFTs as a content play. This is we're putting content in their hands to understand the industry.
Right.
And so it was weird to see those two worlds that I knew nothing about. I really would never know anything about this side of the event.
Right.
And to see them come together like that was pretty interesting for me.
Yeah.
A little scary because it's like fire to me. You know, I can't touch it.
Right.
But to be near it and to see it integrate was a neat experience.
Yeah. Well, hey, let me ask this last question.
Sure.
So, and I'll frame it this way. You know, a lot of the information that's distributed through CoinDesk and others is kind of to the tribe. Right, and then of course there's the outside that's like, what is all this? How do I make sense of it all? So let me ask you in kind of a really natural way. You sit down in a plane next to a chief of a Fortune 100 company, and you have a natural, and you're in a good mood, and you're energetic, you're good to talk, and what comes up is like, okay, so you're the director of research at CoinDesk. I'm a chief at a company that everybody knows the name of. Like, what should we be doing? Like, what's the move for 2019? What's the move for 2020? Like, help me understand as a chief of a Fortune 100 company, what's the next move for me as the leader?
So I would say that our sort of, macro narrative at CoinDesk is not, here's blockchains and here's cryptocurrency. Like, it's one level abstracted from that. Look at the historic trend that we're talking about, right? Cryptography was only used by state actors for war for thousands of years. At the end of World War II, it was understood how powerful it was, so it was actually counted as a munition. Like the technology itself was counted as a bullet for many years, and you were never able to commercially deploy it.
Wow.
There were finally innovations in cryptography from the private sector. Like, what I mean to say is there was no university course on this even in the 60s. Like, this was not to be taught, right? This was off limits. And so in the 1970s, as people understood the internet was coming, they had, private sector inventions like public key cryptography, which underlies all of the things we see here today.
Yeah.
And so when that was invented, what you saw was people said, "Oh, look at these people; they're too stupid to run their own cryptographic keys," and they were probably right. This was the 1980s. I mean, you couldn't just say, "Okay, well, we don't even know what the internet is, but here's a cryptographic key. Go have at it."
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
So corporations naturally came in and did the job for us, right? They managed our cryptography. So all these Fortune 100s ended up having a line of business that they were never that interested in, that they just had to get and was given to them.
Right.
Now manage people's cryptography. I would say to them, how many billions of dollars are you spending securing people's dogs' names and mother's maiden's name, all these crazy things that you're securing so that people can run this stuff for you? What are you doing? What does it cost you to run their cryptography for you?
Yeah.
What Bitcoin did and what all of this is about, in my mind, is the trickle down of cryptography and the cryptographic key to the individual. So it went from the state to the company to the individual.
Wow.
And their NFTs and their cards and their fun and their whatever you want, but it's a way to express consent on the internet that behaves like cash. You just do it and it's over. There's no dogs' names or mother's maiden names or any of that stuff.
Right.
So the message to them is get out of the business of running people's cryptography for them.
Yes.
Cryptography is going to the individual and they will use it. So think of your business the way it used to be before you had this weird side job of running people's cryptography. And maybe there are some businesses that should still run other people's cryptography. Maybe. We don't know. We'll find out. But what we do know is the revolution of cryptography being in the hands of the individual and the empowerment that will come to each individual is here, and it can't be stopped. So, focus on your business. If you're a bank, secure the money. Don't worry about people's mother's maiden names and their dogs' names and all the rest of it.
Well, I mean, think about the emerging companies that disrupted entire industries. Uber, Facebook, you go on and on. They all just got into this business. That was not their intention. That's a really, really, really good explanation that you gave, and I don't know if I've ever heard it articulated like that. I'm very glad I asked you that last question.
Happy to give the answer.
Thank you for the interview.
My pleasure.
My name is Ian Utile. I'm here at Consensus 2019, the world's largest event around all things crypto, blockchain, and the rest. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'll be back again soon.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. That was really, really, really good. I learned a lot. I'm like, smarter now than I was before Nolan. Cool, and I'll send you a link to that.
Yeah, great. We'll push it out on our thing.
That'd be great.
Awesome, man.
All right, cool, man.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Did you get any in the swag bag? I didn't even open mine.
I did. It was actually way better experience than I was expecting.
Good.
So Jody and I did NFT NYC together.
Yeah.
I'm doing 2 big events tomorrow and Friday in Puerto Rico with Brock. but there are only 30 people in the room, and then I have this massive online audience. I was talking, I should tell you about what I do for events. So my premise is this: I want to have like a couple dozen people in the room that are all speakers and panelists and fireside chat people. I want no audience. Unless we really want an audience, it'll be media, 100 media people in the room. So that's like I'm doing in San Francisco on July 11th. There'll be 125 media. They have to be pre-qualified and pay to be there. And then there'll be 14 speakers, so 7 keynotes, 7 fireside chats. But I'll hopefully have over 1,000, maybe 10,000 people that pre-signed up to watch online.
Crazy.
Now what I do is every speaker gives me access to their YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages, and I live stream through everybody's pages, and then their marketing team runs their comments, runs their marketing.
Yeah, very clever.
What I've also done, like I did the Future of Blockchain at Twitter's headquarters last summer, and I had all 20 or so speakers that I live streamed through, but I had like out of the 200 attendees, like 75 gave me access to live stream through their accounts. The way I did it was I'm like, tickets are $500 or free if you let me live stream through your account.
You must have a big traffic, all that kind of.
The way that I do it is I build it around my speakers.
Yeah.
So it's all the traffic to try to extract energy from the collective distribution channels that we have for one another.
I've been trying to think of that too for our own event, to how to, sort of.
So that's what I want to talk with you. I know Boards, is that it? And then Jacob, your head of digital operations. So I connected with the two of them. I wanted to have a conversation with you guys about, hey, here's what I do. What I don't do is events.
Yeah.
What I do is like very, very aggressive, unique ways of live stream distribution.
We should think of it, because we have a pretty strong access to the speakers.
Yes.
And so we could probably contrive something that would be pretty interesting.
What would be interesting is like, how could I bring my strength into your world? Because I'm building software around all that I do. So it takes me 3 softwares and a team of a dozen people and all this equipment to pull it off. So we're gonna have one piece of software that basically allows us to do this process in an automated fashion.
I like it, man. Let's keep the conversation. We'll have a look.
So I'll follow up with you about that.
Awesome, man.
All right, Nolan.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah,
That was a good session.
that was good.
Nice to meet you.
All right.